Hello everyone, this side Naveen and Anjali.
And boy, oh boy, do we have a fascinating journey for you today. We're diving headfirst into a world where biology, that amazing study of life, meets the incredible power of computers.
Think about it. All the information that makes you, or a towering tree, or even a tiny microbe, is written in a code.
A biological code. But how do we read it? How do we understand it? How do we use it to make the world a better place?
That, my friends, is where our adventure begins. Today we will cover about bioinformatics.
Now that might sound like a mouthful, a real tongue twister, but trust me, it's one of the most exciting cutting-edge fields in science today.
Imagine you have a library, not just any library, but the biggest library in the universe, containing all the instruction manuals for every living thing. That's kind of like the amount of biological data we have.
Bioinformatics gives us the super-powered glasses and the super-smart assistants to read, organize, and understand all those books. It's about using computers to unlock the secrets hidden deep within our DNA and the molecules of life.
So buckle up your lab coats, or, just get comfortable, because we're about to explore how scientists are using bits and bytes to understand genes and proteins.
We'll see how this incredible field is revolutionizing medicine, agriculture, and our very understanding of life itself. It's science, it's technology, it's information, and it's all coming together in a spectacular way.
Are you ready?
Let's go! All right, let's get down to brass tacks, or should I say base pairs. What exactly bioinformatics? Well, consider this. Biology, the study of life, is generating an absolutely staggering amount of information. Think about your own DNA. It's a sequence of about 3 billion letters. Now multiply that by all the different species on Earth and all the variations within those species. That's a data deluge. Bioinformatics is the super cool interdisciplinary field that swoops in to make sense of it all. It's like a scientific superhero team-up, bringing together biology, computer science, mathematics, and information technology. Its mission? To analyze and interpret all this biological data, especially at the molecular level. We're talking DNA, RNA, and proteins, the very building blocks of life. Imagine you're trying to assemble the world's most complicated jigsaw puzzle, but the pieces are microscopic, and there are billions of them. Bioinformatics provides the high-powered microscopes, the tools to see the data, the instruction manual, the algorithms to understand the relationships, and the giant table, the databases to store everything. It's not just about looking at one gene or one protein in isolation. Oh no, it's about understanding the complex web of interactions, the intricate dance of molecules that makes a cell work, an organ function, and an organism live. It's about seeing the big picture, the grand design, hidden within these tiny, tiny components. So, when you hear bioinformatics, think of it as the bridge between the wet lab, where biologists are doing experiments with test tubes and petri dishes, and the dry lab, where computer scientists and mathematicians are crunching numbers and building models. It's where the raw data from biological experiments gets transformed into actual knowledge, into insights that can help us understand diseases, develop new drugs, improve our crops, and even trace the very evolution of life on our planet. It's about decoding life software, folks, and that is incredibly exciting. Now that we know bioinformatics is, let's peek under the hood and see it actually works. What are its main goals? What's in its amazing toolkit? Well, the core aim, the big mission of bioinformatics is to develop the methods and the tools, the software, the algorithms, the databases that allow us to truly understand biological data. It's not enough to just the data. We need to be able to do something meaningful with it. Think of it like this. You could have all the musical notes in the world, but without a composer and an orchestra, you don't have a symphony. Bioinformatics helps compose that symphony of biological understanding. This process generally involves 3 key stages, 3 crucial steps on the path from raw data to brilliant discovery. First, up data storage. With the sheer volume of biological information being generated, think genome sequences, protein structures, gene expression levels, we need robust, organized, and accessible ways to store it all. These aren't your average spreadsheets, oh no. We're talking about massive, specialized biological databases like GenBank for DNA sequences or the Protein Data Bank for protein structures. These are like the carefully catalogued libraries we talked about, ensuring scientists everywhere can find the books they need for their research. It's foundational, it's essential. Then comes the really exciting part, data analysis. This is where the computer science and mathematical muscle really flexes. Bioinformaticians develop and use powerful algorithms and statistical methods to sift through these vast datasets, looking for patterns, similarities, differences, and hidden relationships. Are these two genes related? Does this protein have a similar structure to another one with a known function? Does this genetic variation make someone more susceptible to a particular disease? These are the kinds of questions data analysis helps us answer. And finally, there's data interpretation, turning those patterns and statistical results into actual biological insights. What does it all for the living organism? This often involves creating models, visualizing complex data, and connecting the dots to form a coherent biological story. It's a detective story written in the language of life. Okay, team, prepare to have your minds expanded, because the scope of bioinformatics is huge, and it's growing faster than a well-fed yeast colony. It's not just one niche area, it touches almost every aspect of modern biology and medicine. Think of it as a versatile multi-tool that scientists can adapt for an incredible variety of tasks. Let's start with genomics. This is all about studying entire genomes, the complete set of DNA of an organism. Bioinformatics tools are essential for sequencing genomes, identifying genes, finding variations, and comparing genomes across different species. It's like having the complete instruction manual for an organism and the tools to read every single page and every single footnote. Then there's proteomics, which focuses on the entire set of proteins produced by an organism, and transcriptomics, which looks at all the RNA molecules. Proteins are the workhorses of the cell, and RNA acts as the messenger. Bioinformatics helps us identify these molecules, understand their structures, predict their functions, and see how their levels change in different conditions, like in health versus disease. But wait, there's more. Metagenomics studies the genetic material recovered directly from environmental samples, like soil or seawater, allowing us to understand entire communities of microorganisms, many of which we can't even grow in a lab. It's like exploring a hidden universe of tiny life forms, and the list goes on. Systems biology uses bioinformatics to model and understand the complex interactions within entire biological systems, like a whole cell or even an organ. Pharmacogenomics aims to tailor drug treatments to an individual's genetic makeup. Personalized medicine, how cool is that? Evolutionary biology uses bioinformatics to trace the history of life, building family trees of species by comparing their DNA. And biomedical informatics applies all these tools and techniques directly to human health, helping us understand diseases, diagnose them earlier, and develop new therapies. From the tiniest microbe to the complexities of human health, bioinformatics is there, making discoveries possible. It's a universe of possibilities, all powered by data and smart algorithms. Now, this incredible field of bioinformatics didn't just spring into existence overnight like a mushroom after a rainstorm. Oh no, it has a fascinating history, a story of brilliant minds, technological leaps, and an ever-growing mountain of data. The seeds were sown way back in the early days of molecular biology, even before we had computers powerful enough for what we do today. Scientists like Margaret Dayhoff, a true pioneer, started compiling sequences of proteins in the 1960s, creating some of the very first biological databases by hand and with early computers. They realized that to understand these molecules, they needed to collect, organize, and compare them. That was a revolutionary idea at the time. As our ability to sequence DNA and proteins improved, so did the need for more sophisticated ways to store and analyze this information. This led to the development of primary biological databases that are still cornerstones of the field today, like GenBank in the US, the European Nucleotide Archive, ENA, and the DNA Databank of Japan, DDBJ. These became global repositories, allowing scientists from all over the world to share and access sequence data. Think of it as the first international biological internet, a way for knowledge to flow freely. This collaborative spirit has always been at the heart of bioinformatics. Science, it's all about sharing. Then came a truly monumental undertaking, the Human Genome Project, launched in 1990. Its goal was to sequence the entire human genome, all 3 billion base pairs. This project was a massive catalyst for bioinformatics. It spurred the development of new sequencing technologies, new algorithms for assembling genomes, and new tools for annotating genes. And just when we thought the data couldn't get any bigger, along came next-generation sequencing, NGS technologies in the mid-2000s. Suddenly, sequencing became faster, cheaper, and generated an absolute tsunami of data. This explosion of data has supercharged bioinformatics, making it more essential and more exciting than ever before. It's a story of innovation building on innovation, leading us to where we are today. So, there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour through the amazing world of bioinformatics. As you can see, bioinformatics is a powerful and essential discipline for modern biology and medicine. It's not just a niche field for computer geeks who also like biology, though we love them. It's a fundamental way of doing science in the 21st century. It bridges the gap between the raw, often overwhelming flood of biological data and meaningful scientific understanding. Think of it as the Rosetta Stone for the language of life, allowing us to translate complex codes into life-saving discoveries and profound new knowledge.
It plays a central, absolutely critical role in so many areas. From basic research trying to understand the fundamental mechanisms of life, to healthcare where it's revolutionizing diagnostics and treatments, to agriculture where it's helping us develop more resilient and nutritious crops, and even in biotechnology, where it's fueling the creation of new bio-based products and solutions.
The impact is truly staggering, and it's reaching into corners of our lives you might not even expect. Every time you hear about a new genetic discovery, or a personalized cancer treatment, or a breakthrough in understanding a complex disease, you can bet bioinformatics played a starring role. And the journey is far from over. As biological data continues to grow exponentially, and believe me, it's growing at a mind-boggling rate, the importance of bioinformatics will only increase in the future. We're going to need more clever tools, more brilliant bioinformaticians, and more innovative ways to turn all that data into wisdom. It's a field buzzing with potential, ripe for new discoveries.
Thank you for your quality time and keep asking questions. Science is all around us.